most dastardly of the bunch, the one who's been stealing masks left and right, Drew Bronson, as Parallax hits another high-flying splash in the corner. Well, that last one was negated by a boot, and that sent poor Parallax right down onto his back, and he's hurting in pain. All right, fans, welcome to the 2022 Lucha Libre in the Park Series, our opening contest, singles competition. The Lucha Killer, Drew Bronson, the dastardly one, with Kevin Ultra, the post-apocalyptic playboy on the outside of the ring. The collection of masks that have been ripped off and snatched off of previous luchadors are just trophies on the mantelpiece of Drew Bronson in the past. But Parallax, one of the new rising stars in all of Lucha Libre, straight out of Mexico City, Mexico, would like to make a favorable impression in front of these fans and stop the momentum of one Drew Bronson once and for all. The bell is sounded. We're going to have the action right here. Lucha Libre in the Park 2022. Some say it was not even going to happen, but it is happening. An event literally that came to form within a matter of weeks, and what a humongous great crowd we have on hand for this great afternoon. And we do expect that the precipitation will stay away, and if that is so, we're in for a great afternoon of tremendous action. Nice single leg takedown, trying to stop Drew Bronson, but only a 1 count. Parallax has the speed advantage, however, Drew Bronson definitely has the height and the weight advantage. That's going to make things very tough and very challenging for Parallax if, indeed, he is stuck, trapped on the mat with nowhere to go. That might make things even more difficult for him as this match goes on. Very low attack by Drew Bronson, doing that on purpose. If you can ground the luchador, that was one of the keys to success. But Bronson, again, with the go behind. The waist lock is applied. Drew Bronson trying to find a quick escape. Bronson, a grappler. Great chain grappling. Excellent ground and pound. He's got a submission strategy. And with that extra man on the outside as an extra advantage, that will give him the edge. 2 against 1 at any point on the outside of the ring for sure. Ricky Hermoso's got to keep all the action focused inside of the ring. However, when the action's supposed to be outside, you never know what could break down. It's all about putting on pressure on the opponent, putting on the aggression, and continuing to focus and wear down your opposition until they cannot fight back. In the battle at Lucha Libre in the Park, it's always good against evil, Technicos against Rudos. Not every match is Lucha Libre based, but we do have some pro wrestling mixed in. And look at this. Ricky Hermoso lately trying to tell Drew Bronson, you can't break the rules. There should be no rope break. But Kevin Ultra doing the additional damage on the outside using a chain as a weapon. That might be a string. It's got a bunch of mass on it on the ring apron. And Drew Bronson, look at this. Easily hoisting up Parallax over one shoulder. Look at this great power display by Drew Bronson, the dastardly one. Oh, wow, releasing slam. Devastating landing, could have severed or broken every bone in the back of the spine. And then the high-flying leg drop actually aided to the process. 2 count there. Welcome to the Lucha Libre in the Park Series. We're seeing all sorts of familiar faces around town. And Drew Bronson could not put away Parallax right there, but the damage is being inflicted to the lower back and the upper back of Parallax. And when you have that knee dug into your back, it's going to affect your lungs. It's going to affect your breathing. When you got all the fingers wrapped around your throat, it's going to trap all the air from going to and from the brain. And that's going to be a problem for Parallax as this match goes on. Parallax struggles to get back to his feet, tries to go for a side headlock takeover, but Drew Bronson just yanked him down by his collarbone and his mask. This is not a mask versus mask match. If you try to remove an individual's mask without a bet or without something else at stake, it could be cause for a disqualification. So Drew Bronson's got to be careful about that. Bronson could take a chance. Look at that. He missed the springboard bomb off the second rope. And Bronson flipped over. Parallax preparing to take flight. High flying splash. Pretty simple. One of the newest luchadors of the scene, trying to emerge. He's been training very hard for this opportunity. It's his first one-on-one singles match, as a matter of fact. He's usually involved in lucha tags. But this is a monumental moment for him if he can somehow overcome one of the most dastardly of the bunch, the one who's been stealing mass left and right, Drew Bronson, as Parallax hits another high-flying splash in the corner. Oh, that last one was negated by a boot, and that sent poor Parallax right down onto his back, and he's hurting in pain. Not giving up, refusing to lose, still hanging in there. And Drew Bronson again trying to do anything to humiliate his opponent, even trying to beat him with 1 foot. Bronson entirely draped in black with white trim. Parallax in almost entirely white with yellow trim. Parallax struggling to get to the ropes, needs the ropes to get to his feet. This is a struggle and a half for Parallax at this point. And the clothesline is sent down, poor Parallax onto the mat. And the chorus of boos are going to continue at this point because it's Drew Bronson who's been controlling the action almost entirely thus far. Trying to work on the left arm and wrist. Now has a trap behind his body. And Bronson stomping on that left wrist. You can't see a limb if it's trapped behind your body or on the side. So obviously that's going to make matters worse for Parallax. And again, Bronson, he'll take advantage of you. He'll try to do joint manipulation. He'll try to tie up in knots if in any way possible for his own amusement.
I'm breaking his arm!
Bronson says it's over. He's going to break and shatter that arm into a million pieces, and it's very possible. Parallax with a very thin sleeve on his arm, but I don't think that will prevent or protect him. And all of a sudden, Ricky Hermoso's a physical therapist. How is that going to work? Parallax refuses to give up. That is a sign. I don't know if it's a sign of maybe utter frustration, but one way or another, against all odds, Parallax still wants to fight here. Bronson starting to run out of gas, bent over for a moment. Oh, he set him up, he suckered it in. Watch this. My goodness, he flipped him over like a pancake. But he somehow survives. It's Bronson who absorbed the impact to his ribs. An awkward landing for Bronson, and now Kevin Ultra trying to make sure that Drew Bronson can handle the pressure. Is Parallax going to try to fly here? He's on the run. Oh, he tricked everybody. Drew Bronson was ready to duck and cover, but Parallax just rolled. Oh, look at that! High flying cross body press. Parallax puts down Bronson on the outside. Now watch how quickly Kevin Ultra backs up the bus after seeing that. If Parallax gets a clean shot in on Kevin Ultra, oh, these fans might become unglued. Parallax trying to go up to the top rope, taking an incredible risk. High risk, high reward, or worse. Another high cross body press, but it was countered. Drew Bronson was able to switch the position. He's got him up. Watch this. Fall away slam. Man, he just threw him around like a sack of potatoes, just all the way across the ring from corner to corner. What a mess. What a mess. Drew Bronson, all of a sudden, puts Parallax down on the mat for real, for good, and potentially forever. And it's a frustrating situation for Parallax. Parallax took some crazy chances and had some success, but maybe dove off the ropes one too many times. Electric chair in the process for Parallax unless he can find an escape. Victory roll! He did! Parallax has won this match! Ladies and gentlemen, here's the winner of the opening contest, Parallax! Parallax with a brilliant move off of the shoulders of Drew Bronson, trapped his shoulders to the mat during the victory roll, and has scored the win here at Lucha Libre in the Park to start this event for 2022. What a huge, awesome moment that was. for Parallax. Now, the fans from all across the Chicagoland area are in full support of what Parallax did here today. Bronson, frustrated, even unmasking himself after that one. His sponsors are not going to like that. This is the 2022 Lucha Libre in the Park Series. We've got tag team action and much more, and it takes place in a moment. Thanks for watching Lucha Libre in the Park.